you've spoken to in Independence Square, I understand they're bracing for an attack by police, and that both sides have been using really dangerous, crudely made, improvised explosives. What specifically have you seen?
On the ground today, we've seen a number of improvised explosive devices on both sides. From police, we've seen some very crudely made explosives, duct taped with shrapnel that included some strange pieces of metal and nails. On the protester side, it looks like they're dismantling fireworks and making some kind of makeshift grenades that they are launching into riot police ranks. Besides those, a number of very crudely made hand-to-hand combat-type devices on the protesters' side, among other things.
And Chris, I mean, we've seen, fires, obviously, that have prevented police from moving in to clear the square. I assume the fires are not burning. So right now, we hear people in the square talking on the loudspeaker, but what is stopping police from moving in?
It seems that they may have had some orders to move back and retreat. Ministry of Interior troops and Berkut officers, those are the Special Elite Riot Force, they're not trained to advance when live fire is being fired at them. And today we did see some live fire, some live rounds, that is, from protesters being fired at them. Once that began, police seemed to move back from their positions. They retreated about 200 meters up one of the main streets here, away from the square, and that's when protesters advanced and actually moved further up the street and expanded their ground in the square.
And Nick, yesterday you were saying people are able to get in and out of the square. So are they in Ukraine for years? You've been covering the protests in Kiev since November. How do you see this ending? Do you see it ending?
It's really difficult to say right now exactly how it's going to end. We saw this resolution passed in Parliament earlier today, but it'll mean nothing if the Speaker of the House and the President don't sign it. And we've heard that at least the Speaker has fled the city, and Yanukovych, who's been defiant over the last 3 months, seems as though he's not ready to give in. It's really difficult to tell right now exactly when and how this will give in, but the resolve of the protesters is extremely strong, and they've voiced to me and other media that they're not going to give up, they're not going to leave the square until they get what they want, and that is the resignation of the president and the lessening of, or at the very least, the lessening of his powers in new presidential and parliamentary elections.
All right. Christopher Miller, be careful. Nick Payne Walsh as well. Thank you very much. Coming up next night, how's this for